In the early years of World War II, the confidence of German forces was palpable. They believed their advanced weaponry and innovative tactics made them nearly unstoppable. Tanks like the Panzer, coupled with the effectiveness of blitzkrieg, showcased their military might. As they moved swiftly through Europe, seizing territory with relative ease, they developed a sense of superiority. German commanders often mocked the traditional methods of their opponents, viewing them as outdated. One particular target of their scorn was the use of traditional weaponry by some of their adversaries. They dismissed items like bows and arrows as relics of a bygone era, thinking these weapons couldn't possibly stand up against modern firearms and artillery. This dismissive attitude not only reflected their confidence, but also their lack of understanding about the spirit and resilience of their opponents. However, this sense of invincibility was about to face a reality check. As the war progressed, they encountered resistance in places they had initially deemed easy targets. Countries like the Soviet Union, which they underestimated at first, showed remarkable tenacity. The harshness of winter in the Eastern Front and the sheer number of troops the Soviets could mobilize began to turn the tide against the Germans. This shift became even clearer during battles like Stalingrad, where the Germans' initial strategies were met with fierce and relentless opposition. Instead of the swift victories they had grown accustomed to, they faced a solid wall of resistance that challenged their perceptions of warfare. The world of bows and arrows, though archaic, symbolized a different kind of strength and strategy, one that focused on endurance and resourcefulness rather than just cutting-edge technology. As the war continued to unfold, the German forces would learn that underestimating their opponents could lead to dire consequences. What they initially saw as an outdated approach came to represent the heart and spirit of countless soldiers fighting against them. Thus, the stage was set for a series of conflicts that would challenge Germany's confidence and reshape entire nations. As the conflict grew more intense across Europe, a small but determined group of soldiers from a lesser-known Allied faction began to explore the use of an ancient weapon. The bow. Unlike the modern firearms and tanks dominating the battleground, this bow was made from durable materials, crafted carefully to ensure accuracy and reliability. The soldiers in this group saw potential where others saw only outdated technology. They believed that traditional skills and techniques might give them a unique advantage in smaller skirmishes. In a time when everyone was focused on high-tech weaponry, they thought that mastering the bow could provide them with benefits other soldiers might overlook. With this mindset, they began their training in secret, honing their aim and learning the art of stealth. The soldiers practiced diligently, realizing that the bow offered a quiet approach to warfare. Unlike guns, which could draw attention from afar, the sound of an arrow flying through the air was almost silent. This allowed them to launch surprise attacks, hitting targets before the enemy even knew they were under threat. In an age defined by loud explosions and heavy artillery, they found solace in the simplicity of their weapon, believing it could turn the tide in close combat. Their commitment to learning these traditional techniques meant spending long hours in the woods, focusing on precision and patience. Each day brought new challenges, but they grew stronger together, developing teamwork and trust. Every arrow they released brought them closer as a unit, and they began to see themselves as part of something larger. Their training didn't go unnoticed. As tales of their unusual strategy spread among other Allied forces, curiosity grew. Many were skeptical, of course, but others found inspiration in their dedication. They started to think that maybe, just maybe, there was value in drawing lessons from the past, even in the face of modern warfare. This small group began to symbolize a unique blend of old and new, embodying the spirit of resilience that was critical in these challenging times. During a critical engagement in the thick of the fighting, the bowmen finally got their chance to demonstrate the effectiveness of their ancient weapon. With tensions at an all-time high, they prepared to put their training into action. The soldiers felt a mix of excitement and nerves, knowing that what they were about to do could change the way everyone viewed their efforts. In just 3 days, reports started to emerge, and the results were astonishing. 7 German sergeants had fallen victim to the arrows launched from their traditional bows. This unexpected success sent shockwaves through the German ranks and turned heads among the Allied forces. The bowmen had executed their plan flawlessly, using the element of surprise to their advantage. They moved swiftly and silently, releasing their arrows with precision. Each shot found its mark, demonstrating that their old-fashioned weapon could still compete in modern warfare, the very thing the Germans had dismissed. This newfound efficiency challenged the existing stereotype that viewed the bow as an antiquated tool, unfit for battle. The Germans, who had so confidently mocked the use of such weaponry, now faced a reality that their arrogance had blinded them to. The bowmen had proven that even in a world dominated by mechanized warfare, there was still strength in tradition, skill, and strategy. As news of their success spread, it inspired hope among Allied troops. They began to see the value in diversifying their approach to combat, realizing that every weapon, modern or ancient, had its place in the fight. The bowmen's courage not only showcased their skills, but also sparked a renewed sense of pride and creativity within their ranks. The success of the bowmen created quite a stir among both the Allied forces and the German command. News of their achievements quickly spread, causing many to reevaluate their views on unconventional weaponry. Allied troops, who had once focused mostly on modern arms, began to see the value in thinking outside the box. The idea that an ancient weapon could bring down well-trained German sergeants changed the way they approached battle. On the German side, the mood shifted as well. Soldiers who had once felt confident in their superiority began to feel anxious. The stories of the bow's effectiveness made them question their own beliefs. How could they have underestimated a weapon they had dismissed as outdated? The very fact that something so simple could challenge their advanced technology shook their confidence to the core. For the Allies, the tale of the bow became legendary. It was more than just a story of victory. It became a symbol of hope and resilience. Soldiers told and retold the accounts around campfires, showcasing how ingenuity and determination could lead to unexpected triumphs. The bowmen were now viewed as heroes, and their success was seen as proof that every soldier, no matter what weapon they carried, had the potential to make a difference. This story served as a rallying point for Allied forces. Troops felt inspired to embrace creativity in their tactics, often discussing how they could integrate unconventional strategies into their plans. The confidence and morale within the Allied ranks surged, leading to greater cooperation and strategizing on the battlefield. The bowmen, despite being just a small group, had sparked a change of mindset that would resonate throughout the war. The impact of the bowmen's success was significant and multifaceted. For the Allied troops, it sparked a newfound confidence. Soldiers began to believe that they could turn the tide of battle through creativity and unconventional methods. No longer were they only relying on tanks and guns. They started to consider how traditional skills could complement modern strategies. On the other side, the German military was forced to take notice. They had always prided themselves on their advanced technology, but now they faced an unexpected challenge. The success of the bowmen made them rethink their tactics and develop countermeasures against these non-traditional approaches. New strategies emerged, aimed at neutralizing the bowmen's advantage, showing just how shaken they were by the threat from what they had considered an outdated weapon. As the battlefields of World War II evolved, they began to showcase a unique mix of modern technology and Old World warfare. Arrows flew alongside bullets, blending the past and the present in a way that had rarely been seen before. Each side adapted to the other's strengths and weaknesses, leading to a dynamic and unpredictable environment in combat. This blending of tactics created an atmosphere of innovation. Soldiers experimented with various methods, looking for the next edge they could exploit. The bowmen had set a precedent, proving that the art of war could teach lessons regardless of the era. The presence of the bow on the battlefield became a reminder that success could come from the most unexpected places, urging everyone to keep thinking creatively. Looking back, the story of the bowmen became a powerful symbol of ingenuity and resilience. They faced the odds with determination, transforming what many considered a disadvantage into a significant tactical advantage. Their ability to succeed in a world dominated by modern warfare showcased the unpredictability of battles. This incident served as a reminder that history often influences the present in ways we might not expect. The bowmen demonstrated that even in the most challenging situations, creative thinking and resourcefulness can lead to success. Their journey highlighted that sometimes lessons from the past can provide valuable insights for future challenges. As their story spread, it encouraged others to think differently, pushing the boundaries of traditional warfare. Soldiers began to understand that the battlefield doesn't just belong to the strongest weapons, but also to those who dare to innovate. This shift in perspective altered not only tactics, but also the very mindset of those involved in the war. Ultimately, the legacy of the bowmen reminds us that history is full of surprises. What seems outdated or ineffective can still hold relevance in modern times. Their success taught both allies and enemies that resilience and the willingness to adapt are crucial in any conflict, and that sometimes, looking to the past can illuminate the path forward.